inappropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office. Why should Americans trust you? And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news. ABC fake news. One of the worst. One of the worst in the business. But I'll answer your question. I have nothing.
Bro, this nigga's a savage, bro. He might be more savage than me, facts. He said, who you with? ABC, fake news. Let you know these are fake people here.
With a family business, I have left, and when I've devoted 100% of my energy. What my family does is fine. They do business all over. They've done very little with Saudi Arabia, actually. I'm sure they could do a lot. And anything they've done has been very good. That's what we've done. We've built a tremendous business for a long time. I've been very successful. I decided to leave that success behind and make America very successful. And I've made America more successful by far than it ever was, and that it ever could have been, no matter who was president. There would be nobody bringing in $21 trillion, that I can tell you right now. As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
Okay, just you ask, Mr. President,
please,
you allow me to answer. You know, I feel painful about, the families of 9/11 in America, but, we have to focus on reality. Reality based on CIA documents and based on a lot of documents that Osama bin Laden used Saudi people in that event for one main purpose, is to destroy this relation, to destroy the American-Saudi relation. That's the purpose of 9/11. So whoever buying that means they are helping Osama bin Laden's purpose of destroying this relation. He knows that strong relation between America and Saudi Arabia, it's bad for extremism, it's bad for terrorism. And we have to approve him wrong and to build our relation, to continue developing our relation. It's critical in the safety of the world. It's critical against extremism and terrorism. About the journalists, it's really...
This nigga's English is immaculable. Immaculate. I didn't know he spoke so good of English. I feel like Trump's the only one that don't speak other languages. Everybody got to learn our language. Fuck. That's how we coming. This nigga English is great. But it seems like he knows a lot about this guy that they're speaking of. But like he said, they wiped their hands with it.
Painful to hear, anyone that been losing his life for, no real purpose or not in a legal way. And it's been painful for us in Saudi Arabia. We've did all the right steps of investigation, etc. in Saudi Arabia, and we've improved our system to be sure that nothing happened like that, and it's painful and it's a huge mistake, and we are doing our best that this doesn't happen again.
Mr. President,
Thank you, Mr. President. The Crown Prince has been instrumental in helping lifting the sanctions on Syria. Will there be any joint investment between the U.S. and Syria? And will you visit Damascus?
Are you from Syria?
No, but...
Where are you from?
I'm from Palestine.
Oh, you're making a lot of progress, huh? Very good. Well, they like it. The
we're in
Palestinians like me. The Palestinians are doing very well, actually. I think we're working very closely with a lot of people to make everybody happy, including Israel, the Palestinians, and everybody. That's very interesting. No, I think that I will tell you, the Crown Prince called me, and he specifically asked me if I would lift the sanctions on Syria, because he wants to see Syria make it. As you know, the leader of Syria was just here, and we had a great meeting, and he's a strong guy, and I guess you need a strong person to run it. And I think Syria's made tremendous progress. We did lift the sanctions at the request of the Crown Prince. Also, the president of Turkey, Erdogan, called me specifically. He said, if you don't lift the sanctions, Syria doesn't have a chance. If you do, they have a very good chance. And between the two of them and some others, I lifted the sanctions. And the results so far have been pretty good.
I just love how Trump talk, bro. I don't know. It's just something about being on point. Like, he's talking to people probably half his age. Like, this prince right here, Saudi Arabia, is probably half Trump's age, bro. but he's on his shit. He knows the importance of relationships, and if he wants, it's like if you want your company to flourish, you got to use my company to not charge your company as much, so you can progress too. Of course, that comes with investment from your company, invest in my company, but your company will flourish, and everybody in this region would want to come to me and make a deal because everybody's benefiting from me. That we raise these basically sanctions off of you. That's how I see this going on. When he had the Saudi president, Syria president there, like Syrian president, he has everybody there, or a prince. He has everybody there making deals because they want peace in the Middle East, which they claim we didn't want. They were blaming the United States for Israel's war in Palestine, which we do have some fault to it, but it wasn't our direct doing. You get what I'm saying? We're just helping allies. Now that the peace is calm, but he inherited that anyway from Biden. But now that everything's calm, we can all come down and be like, all right, we can all progress. I'll make my money by making sure all y'all eat too, but y'all are helping each other. So basically, for the purpose of this trip to Saudi Arabian prince to the White House was technically because they're actually making a deal, and hence my next video. Let's play this one. It seems like Donald Trump, and this is a quick little nitbit, and then we'll go on from there.
Today and tomorrow, we're going to announce that we are going to increase that $600 billion to almost $1 trillion of investment, real investment, and real opportunity by details in many areas. And the agreement that we are signing today in many areas in technology, in AI, in earth materials, magnet, etc., that will create a lot of investment opportunities.
So you are doing that now. You're saying to me now that the $600 billion will be $1 trillion.
Definitely, because what we are signing will facilitate that.
I like that very much.
I like that very much. Stop talking. I need that money, big dog. And that's how I gotta be, bro. Look, this is what it is when there's gentlemen at the table talking, negotiating, because that's what it should be. It's not about having enemies. You keep your friends close, your enemies close. Everybody knows that. So when you're making deals, you have to work with these people. It's like working with a bad coworker or manager, and y'all can't fire each other. The only way to get rid of each other is to kill each other. But you don't want to do that because you harm everybody else behind you. So it's best, because you represent so many high individuals, that it's best that you just shake hands and actually make deals so we all prosper. But that doesn't come without rule and certain, payment, of course, because that's what you're representing. Saudi Arabia came to the United States to actually make also another deal that the United States will sell Saudi Arabia, and they already have the jets, but they're going to be selling old fighter jets, like old F-35s to Saudi Arabia, which is the old stuff we have, and that's what it should be about. We, as the country of the United States, and somebody told me this, and I actually can stick with it. The country United States should actually be the universal international firearms dealer and war machine dealer. We are the ones that should be the best and the fastest on progression of firearms, jets, tanks, all that type of tech, and we sell it to our enemies, but only the old stuff, while we're in the business of constantly making it, because that's how we consistently, because not only do we have protection, we will sell protection. And of course, you give them the older stuff because your stuff is more, you have to have better stuff than the stuff you're selling because you are also the protector. Does that make sense? And then we also regulate the use of certain, like, nuclear bombs or access to the type of stuff that creates it. Tell me if that makes sense in the comment section. I'll be honest, like, this is business. It's always been business. If he just boosted investment from 600,000 to 1 trillion, they say, and this is what I heard, Donald Trump has already, since the tariffs and everything and all the negotiation with multiple countries, they say that Donald Trump, and it came out of his mouth himself, he has raised over $13 trillion for investments for the United States of America within the last 10 to 11 months. That's great. And that's just the first year. This man's been working. You can hate him, but when it comes to business and him going to other countries and looking a man in their face and shaking their hand, it's way different. It's way more important. It says that we're willing to sit down with anybody. We'll look in your face and say no or yes or what you want to do. But when I come here, we need to be speaking business. Don't waste my time. That's what I get the impression from Donald Trump. Now, everyone else, they're so worried about his personal affairs. I'm worried about the affairs that represent us as a country to foreign individuals. How can we either help and or make our stance known to foreign individuals, international? How do we look to them? And since Donald Trump has been in office, not to glaze him, but he literally been having everybody bow to his legs. I'm not saying they just respect him. They're like, oh, we finally got a competent leader in the United States that we can make deals with. Make them now. And make sure they have a certain amount of term limits so then the next guy won't come in and switch it up, because we know how politics works in the United States. Make the deal now, get us in the door while helping the rest of our country. It helps them, it helps us. We all prosper at the end. It's kind of like a balance. And that's why I respect the man so much, because I like a stern but a gradual leader. This is the most I've seen Donald Trump smile in the last 10 years. He's smiling with everybody, shaking hands, smiling. But he's also, you can see that other side of him that's like, I'm not to be fucked with. I'm smiling because I like it. But at the same time, I'm doing my shit. And that's the type of leader you need. He is someone I believe needs to be protected. I don't care what you care about him. I don't care if you think he's racist. I don't care if you think that, oh, he's starving people. Start thinking about the politics, because most people don't understand how this works. And this is why it's not good to debate with people. They have no clue on how politics work. The people that most of us support are the same people that finessed us. And they're still continuing to finesse us and make money off the government, man. But this, I think Trump's the savior. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. He's the savior, G. He's saving United States of America. It doesn't mean a specific gender. He's saving the United States and any country that is an allied with us, pretty much. That's really what's going on. It's your boy, AngeloSavage. Tell me what you think about that. Make sure you subscribe. Let's go. Peace.